Hi, everyone. This is Alex, and I am going to show you how to use this weekly budgeting template, kind of how to set it up, and just basically overall how it works. The one I'm looking at right now is one that I've already partially set up. So I'm going to just kind of show you this, and then I'm going to go to a new one. So you can see right here, I'm on week 2. Each week has its own tab along with this one. This one, it kind of shows you a year-to-date view so you can see how you're doing it at it from a full year. So all you do is you click your drop down and it's going to adjust. This is week 2, so it's going to show me January 1st to January 14th. If I was doing week 3, it's going to show me January 1st to January 22nd, and then all the way down to week 52. You can see here I have week 1, week 2, this is just showing me, here's week 1. You can see this is what I actually spent and this is what I budgeted, kind of broken down. You have a couple graphs here. Then over here, you can see so far for my emergency fund, I've saved $750. I have a goal to save $1,500, so I have $750 left. Let's go over to week 2. You can see I saved $600. So that's bumped up to $1,350 on the same goal, $150 left. You can see, what you spent. Right here is where your bills are, and you just enter this in one place and then it automatically populates here. That's nice just because it gives you a spot where I know and I'm thinking, okay, this is January 8th through the 24th. What day are those bills due? Here you can see, okay, this one's due on the 15th, so I'm not going to budget for it here. I'm going to wait until this week and then I'm going to budget for it. So that's how that works. You can kind of see first of the month, and then like childcare. I know personally for me, I have to pay weekly, so that's just, every Monday, put that in there. Then if we go to the very back, you can see here's your list of bills. You can drop down from all your different expenses categories, which we're going to go into next. You enter the date, your amount, and then how frequently it is. And this is just like I said, so when you're looking at these weeks, you can see it here. Your categories, this is where you go, and if you're looking at here, your different types of income or your different ad hoc expenses, your recurring expenses, your debt, and your savings, this is where if you change it here. So let's say instead of wife's paycheck, I put Alex's paycheck. You can see that automatically updates. And so same down here, any of your expenses if you want to rename them or if you have something different. So right here, this is where you would put your beginning amount, the beginning of your balance. So, if we were starting January 1st, it would be how much I've saved so far as of January 1st. You can see that right here. And then here is your goal. And like I said, this part over here is going to be your goal right here. This is actually coming from the previous week because we're in week 46. So I'm guessing hoping since the beginning of the year, you saved some money. But this amount is what's going into week 1. It's actually your 275 plus what you saved. If you wouldn't have saved anything there, it would have just been still your 250. 250, is that right? No, sorry, 275. So that's kind of this sheet. Your transactions, this is where you go and you can say, on January 1st, I got paid $825. And I need to switch that from wife's to Alex's once I updated that. And that goes into my paycheck. And then, this date is how it knows which week to put it into. This vendor or customer, that's really just for your information. If you want to leave it blank, it doesn't matter. And then down here is your dollar amount that you spent or that you earned. These categories, you have a drop down and whatever you're filling out here. So I always recommend starting here and filling it out. And then this budget sheet, this is just mainly to power the spreadsheet, but you can see, how much you've budgeted and where you're at on a full year. You don't want to mess with anything in here. So that's this one filled out. Now I am going to switch over to the one that shows you where we actually go through step by step and filling it out. All right. I have switched over to where I am in the blank file. You can see here, These are all just other income, no information. Week 3, I have nothing showing up. So let's go over here and let's enter. I always like to start here. This is for 1/1/23. And here, let's see my income. I'm going to say Alex's income and side job. My ad hoc expenses are going to be groceries because they're not ever the same, and entertainment. My recurring expense, we'll call it rent and, I don't know, utilities. I'm not going to get too detailed because once you get one set up, it all works the same. Savings is for my emergency fund, car, and house. And debt, we're going to say credit card. There you go. If you see here, you can see it's listing other savings, other credit cards, whatever it may be. If for some reason you don't want all of those, or you don't have 15 debts, you can just go like that. And then you don't have to look at them. Okay, back to this. My emergency fund, which is my, you have 3 savings that you can track. The beginning of the year, I have $250 in it, 0 for car, and $100 for my house fund. My goal is to have $2,000 in my emergency fund, $15,000 for a car, and I don't know, $50,000 for a house. And then let's go to week 1. So you don't want to fill in here. You want to fill in here. I think my normal budget is going to be $750 a week, and my side job weekly will say $50. You can see these graphs are going to automatically update. Ad hoc expenses, $250 a week, and for entertainment, let's say I spend $100. My reoccurring expenses, because it's weekly, I'm going to put an amount in there for rent every week, even though I only pay rent once a month. That's just to make sure that when the month is up, I have enough money to spend. My utilities, I'm going to say I pay $75 this month. And my credit card, emergency fund. Oh, I'd like to put in $100. Oh, see? There we go. Let's do that because then you can see where I have come up with 50. My emergency fund is going to be 50. I personally like to make that 0 just so it's a net spending, a net 0 budget. That's your decision, but that's what I like to do. So normally whatever I do is I fill in all of these things that I have to have, and then whatever I have left over, I allocate. So I could do like 25, 25, but I'm going to do emergency fund. You can see here, this is that 250. Once I start putting stuff in my actual, that amount's going to go up. And we didn't fill any bills. I just realized that. So let's go to list of bills. I'm going to go to rent, if I can type. Do the first. I'm going to say 250, and I'm going to say I do that weekly. And then I'm going to say my other one was utilities. I'm going to pay that on the 5th, and that's going to be 75. And that's going to be monthly. So let's go back here and look. There you go. So let's go to transactions. 1/1/23. Alex's work. 850. I think I did 750. And then you can do that. 1/1/23. I had to pay rent. Oh, I think I had to pay. And then rent. 1/6/23. And that was for utilities. 1/1/16/23. And then this time I'm going to do $5 for groceries in 1/6/23. And like I said, you can fill this out if you want to. You don't need to. Let's say you went to the grocery store or Target or wherever you buy your groceries. It doesn't matter. You can fill that in. It's just kind of for your own information. We don't need it for anything. And here we go. This is going to be $50. You went out and had some entertainment. You can see here how this is budgeting. This is 250, because you had rent. If you would have rather just because you're budgeting it weekly instead of saying that you did that, mark 250, it's going to look a lot more realistic. Kind of depends how you want to do it. If you'd rather show it all going out once, or if you would just rather, match it to what your budget is. So in here you can see, oh, I still need to pay that credit card and my savings goal. Let's go do credit card and then we'll come back and see where I'm at. Because I had extra money this month, I'm going to pay 150 on my credit card, which is going to go to debt. You can see here. And then now, in order to get rid of that $160 left over, because I want to make sure I'm at zero, because I'm doing a zero-based budget, I'm going to go here, back to my transactions. 270. Put it in my emergency fund. I was wrong. It was 270. So it should have been 160. There you go. You can see how that works. And then if you go over here, this is, your year to date. So you can see how you're doing so far for the year. That's the same. Over here, I'm at 410 because we originally started with 250 and then we added 410. How I am moving so quick between here and here is if you go there and push control, it's going to take you clear to the end. I'm just pushing control on the keyboard while I'm moving from side to side. Otherwise, you can always go like that, but I like to move quickly. Okay, so then, basically the same thing for week 2. I'm going to say this week I'm going to make $650. My side job's going to be $25. My groceries are going to be $100. Entertainment, I don't plan on doing much this week. Rent again is $250, and I'm from January 8th to January 14th. I don't see that I have any, utilities, so I'm going to leave that zero. My credit card, I paid last period, so I'm not going to pay anything on that. So in this case, I have $300. I'm going to put it 150 there and 150 there. Now I'm going to go and fill out as normally what I would say is I'd fill out a couple weeks of budget so that you're always a couple weeks ahead. And then as you are spending money throughout the week, I would go and update this. You can see I'm doing it all at once just so you guys can see how this works. But and then because I'm being lazy, I'm just copying the stuff from up above and changing the date. And let's go look at it. So you can see here, I have $310 left to spend. So, I have $310 left to budget. That's just because I was under there and then we didn't actually make any money from our side job. So $310 for our savings. So I am going to go and do and savings. Emergency fund. I think I'm going to put the rest in car. And you can type these if you wanted to. Or you can use your drop down. It doesn't matter either way. 150 and 160. And then you can see we're at zero. And once again, my left, the amount I have left to save to meet my goal is going down. There's week 2, there's week 1. And then on a cumulative basis, here's your saved goal, or here's your goal. That's how much you have left. Everything's just watch it now, look now. And then it all changes because you can look at it. And you can do this at any point. So if you want to see, how you're doing quarterly or, look back in time, it's kind of nice so you can see how spending is going. If you're spending, it's broken down by these categories and then, your budget compared to your actuals. So that's how it works. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. And don't forget to like and share.